Alright, this is gonna be a bit of a different video. I'm not gonna show you exactly certain advice or tips and tricks to help you be productive in your studies, but I guess you could call this a motivational video, even though I find those kind of cringe. It's more of me just venting and getting my thoughts out. Alright. So for the past few days I've been thinking about why I've studied so hard all this time and why I still have the motivation to keep going even though the journey that I'm on is quite tough. Electrical engineering, whenever I say that to people, that's what I'm studying, they're like, "Oh my god, it must be so hard. How do you have the motivation to study, to balance all my commitments and, do all that stuff?" And to that I say, well, this journey actually started way, way, way long ago, okay? Now, obviously, if you've watched my other videos, I've said that I've been working on my productivity and, been tuning it in for the past 2 years, trying to be the most efficient student that I can. But to be honest, all this productivity stuff and, keep bettering myself, it's just a result of the motivation that I gain, which, to be frank with you, started around year 12 when I had that realization. I just thought to myself, man, I'm really privileged, okay? I'm super privileged, even though, I'm studying quite a hard degree. I could complain all day. I mean, there's always things to be complaining about, but the truth is, we came from a third world country, came from Vietnam, and my parents, I'd say at the time, they were having quite a good life with all the status. They worked for good companies that had benefits, all that stuff. Well, they gave that all up and moved to Australia with me and my sister. I was really happy at the time because I knew that the education system in Australia is a lot easier and, just a lot more forgiving compared to Vietnam, because in Vietnam you study like a dog. I mean, I don't think it's as bad as China, but you know, it's the same vibe where you study all day. You have to be an academic weapon, or otherwise you fail in society. And yeah, I was really happy when I got the chance to move here, but I wasn't really, I guess, wasn't too grateful about it. Didn't really take the chance to reflect and think about what I could do with all this time that I have now. And and in year 12, I realized that, man, my parents, they really gave all of it up for their kids. And I think the only right way to repay them is to study hard as fuck. Like, whenever I'd have a thought about giving up, I just think my parents gave their whole life up, basically. I think they could have achieved way much more in Vietnam because they were already well established and, was at a good position in society. But they gave it all up and they moved here. They basically worked shit jobs, worked a lot of hours, just so that me and my sister could have a brighter future compared to if we were to stick it out in Vietnam. And and yeah, from that point on, I was just motivated. I just every day I'd wake up, and when I get to studying, I wouldn't complain at all. Like, obviously you would go and say, oh, this subject is so hard, whatever. But deep down, I knew that I would thug it out anyway, because if my parents gave it all up for us, what can't we do, right? Just think about it. You need a source of purpose, a source of motivation. And it doesn't have to be within yourselves, it can be from something else. There's a reason why a lot of doctors that you see, the reason why they became a doctor in the first place is because of a different source of motivation. It might not be that they truly wanted to become a doctor, but it's something so much more purposeful than that. And that is, I mean, it might really, this might sound really bad on camera, but one of their loved ones, they could have lost one of their loved ones due to cancer or something tragic. And that gave him sort of an unbreakable force of motivation to keep him going to get to that end goal. And they feel really fulfilled by it. Well, guess what? For me, getting all these great results in my academics, I was never gonna not do well in school because my parents, they really gave it all up. They gave up their good life, their status. I mean, I've already said it so many times in this video, but they they care too much about us, and it it's sort of like my moral duty to do well in school and to get these results because it's only right. It's like a payback. And and all this studying efforts, I mean, obviously I'm going to keep studying hard, but I have something so much bigger than that, and that is to make money. Studying, I mean, obviously I'm going to try everything to the best of my ability, but the ultimate goal that I'm trying to have is to create a successful online business that makes a lot of money. So then, once I've created enough revenue, I can just retire my parents. And that is the one, truly the one biggest goal that I have. That is to retire my parents. It's because, bro, my parents have worked so hard for us, right? They've moved countries, they've migrated, started from scratch, basically. And they worked, they basically worked overtime always for us. So it's only right if I take care of them once I have an income and an earning. And that's basically my source of motivation for studying hard, making these videos for you guys, giving you advice. It's because I feel like I have a moral duty to work hard and to ultimately provide for my family, to retire my parents who have worked very hard for me, and my sister. And I think to those of you watching this video, you need a source of motivation for your studies as well. I mean, it's great if you genuinely enjoy what you're studying and you want to make a career out of what you're studying. That's great. But sometimes you kind of just have to do it for others who have worked so hard for us, and eventually you find a sense of purpose in that, and you actually feel quite fulfilled achieving that goal because it's something that your parents really want you to do. They just want the best for you. So but even if you eventually don't want to study anyway, just thug it out. Just study really hard. Most of you watching this, you might be in high school, maybe you're in university. Just study hard. If you don't want to study and you want to work something out on the side, you can do that too. But just make sure to try super hard in everything you do. You have a moral duty to be the best version of yourselves because our parents always wanted the best for us. That's why they put us on the path that they have put us. And yeah, just study hard. Do your best in everything that you do, even if it's not studying. I guess the motivation that I've gained from all these years of studying and doing all these good habits is a moral duty to be the best man that I can be, to provide for my family, to provide for my parents who have worked very hard for me. That's what I wanted to say for this video. I hope you take this message seriously. Do your best, study hard, do it for your parents who have worked very hard for you. This message is especially true for me since I'm still considered an international student, and my parents, they're still looking for a employee sponsorship for their visa and ultimately our permanent residency. It's tough out here for us, but for me, honestly, I'm just grateful to have this opportunity, to study university, to study engineering, which is actually sounds quite badass. And I'm just trying to be the best version that I can to make my parents proud. Hopefully, if I do make an income from this online business, that will be even better because I can retire my parents even earlier. And just it's only right for me to pay back to them after all that they've done for me. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this video. I hope you guys have a good day. Be motivated every day you wake up. You should be grateful to have the opportunity to live and to pay back for your parents who have worked very hard for you. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.